Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a quick, fun, easy project, something I've never done before. It's really awesome. Like as soon as I saw this pattern release, it just screamed Alex and friends to me, because my girlfriends and I like our let's say adult beverage once in a while. So this is a pattern that's amazing for Mother's Day coming soon, that you can use it instead of a wrapping. It's also great for Memorial Day, hostess gift. Many things you can do to it. But let me show you, because I made a child one. And like I told my husband, this is not what it looks like, because he saw me going upstairs with, ta-da! How cool is this? This is a wine holder, wine bottle holder, although the pattern designer does suggest that it could be used for yarn and other crafting supplies. We can just, I'm gonna go ahead and stick to it being for a wine bottle. Look how beautiful it is. And it goes all the way down. You can just lay it on the table like this, or you can pull it up, zip it up, and hand this over to your host or wherever you're going, or treat yourself. This is absolutely beautiful. I love this pattern. So this is the wind down pattern from Ujamaa Baguettes. I've done one of their patterns before and loved it, the Pony Express. So I knew I would go back to their shop on Etsy and grab more patterns. And the wine holder, the wine bag, does have two options, two separate patterns. So you can purchase them together, but there are two separate patterns, wine up and wine down. This is the wine down because of the fact that it goes like this. The other pattern, which I do have, but I haven't made it yet, but it's coming soon. So if you like it and you want to see a video of that, just comment below and let me know, because I'll gladly do it. I do have the pattern already purchased. And that one is a horizontal back, where the wine bottle will stay like this and the zipper goes like this. It's an easier project than this one. So this is what we're sewing today. Today we're sewing wine bottle holder or craft supplies. Not judging, you can do craft supplies if you want, but for me, I'll just stick to my wine. We're going to make this quick, fun, easy project, perfect to treat yourself or to treat somebody that you like and you love when you bring them a nice bottle of wine as a gift. So if this is something you're interested in doing, or just hearing me ramble for the next hour or so, stick around and let's get started. So for this project, you have just a few pattern pieces. It's really not a complicated one. I'm using for the accent cuff this beautiful waterfall Dusty Rose Wizardry Stitchery and Crafts vinyl. I'm using for the main body of the holder, which is something that tells me that I'll be keeping this one, because this is my favorite Hissy Fit print ever. This is their rose gold. This was an exclusive print for their 10K, but this print does come in many other colorways. So if you join Hissy Fit, you will see it in other colorways too. But this is the rose gold print. This is woven that I've interfaced with the Geeky Fuse cotton soft interfacing, and then the bottom part, as per the pattern tutorial, has stiff interfacing, which is, I've used the Geeky Fuse poly stiff, and also it calls for fleece, and I've used Thermolam from Joanne for this bottom part. So these are the outer parts, interface the same way. And then there's a lining option. Sorry, this was not needed. There's a lining piece, and this one is just cotton woven, interfaced with the poly soft Geeky Fuse interfacing. You also need some webbing for the handles, or you can make your own if you want. I'm using just pre-made webbing. I got this from a friend of mine, so I don't know where she got it, but I'm sure you can get it on Amazon or anywhere else. Just 2 pieces of webbing that I heat sealed at the ends. I also have a small Decoville heavy. It's a 3x3 piece that I'm going to be using for the bottom, just to insert here on the bottom to give it more stiffness. Optionally, you can use rivets. You need something to close the zipper at the end, so you can use a zipper end like this one. This is from Wizardry Stitchery and Crafts. I don't have rose gold. Melissa, I don't have rose gold. I need to place an order for I do have light gold, I have gunmetal and rainbow, but I don't have rose gold. So because I don't have the hardware to match my project, I'm just going to use one of these Mormino tags for the zipper end, and it's quite funny. Come on. There. This is super cute. So I'm going to use this instead of a zipper end. And you need 1 zipper pull. I'll be using the rose gold castle because I have a castle here. So it would work. Well, it's a small world, but it looks like a castle. And then you need a 19-inch piece of zipper. But don't put the zipper pull in just yet. And you'll see soon why. It's like a magic bag. So let's start by stitching. Oh, and other stuff that I'm using and you're going to need are some double-sided tape. I'm using the Wizardry Stitchery and Craft double-sided tape. I have it in 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/8 inch. I think I'll need just a 1/4 inch for this project. I'm also using the Dusty Rose Tex 80 from Wizardry Stitchery and Crafts because it matches this and it's absolutely gorgeous. And snips, and I think that's pretty much it. So to start off, we're going to be stitching the I'm looking to see if the pattern matches somewhere. There. We're going to be stitching only one side of the pattern, of the outer part. So only one of the sides. And I did match my bobbin thread to the outer thread, so it's easier for me when I top stitch. I do encourage you to do that for this project, because at the end, on the last top stitching thread, it will be easier to top stitch from the inside. So if your bobbin matches the top, it's going to be much easier. Alright, so just one. You're going to need to press these seams open. I'll do a little finger press. And if you're one of my older friends on this channel, you know that until I change my iron to a different outlet, I can't really press and work the industrial at the same time. So I'll do just a little finger press and set it aside. We're going to repeat the exact same steps with the lining, also just one part, right sides together and one of the long length of the lining. This interfacing sews like a dream. I love it. It adhered beautifully. I do have a video on my channel where I talk about the interfacing, and another one when I show you how to use the heat press for interfacing. So check those out. I'll link them in the description below. Again, finger pressing as best as I can. The side seam open. And now you want to take a pen and mark 1 inch on both sides of the top. and you'll see in a little bit why. So 1 inch on each side. Okay. 1 inch on the lining. Come on. And 1 inch on the lining. These are my friction pens, so I know they'll disappear when I heat them with some steam and some heat. And you will take your zipper without the zipper pull on it. Trust me. Just watch the magic happen. Your 19-inch piece of zipper tape, you do need zipper by the yard for this project. So you want to take your 19-inch piece of zipper tape and find its center. And then take your outer part. I've used the part with the castle for the outer part, so it's easier to distinguish in the video. So on the outside, match the center of the zipper to the seam you just did right here, and use a clip to hold it in place. Okay, so now you want to pin, and when I say pin, I mean clip, your zipper along this side, but you don't want to go all the way. Remember the 1 inch marking we just did? This is where you need it to stop, so this is where you'll be veering off. So don't forget to veer off. Same on the other side, where the 1 inch mark is where I put my pin here, is where you want to veer off. So right now you're on the right side, it should look like this. So zipper tape right sides to the main body of the bag and veered off. So now you want to stitch the zipper in place from the 1 inch mark where you veered it off. Make sure that your seam on the center is still open. And when you get towards the other side, again, veer off at the 1 inch mark. How beautiful is this dusty rose tape with rose gold coils, so pretty. Okay, so you can see here where I've stitched that I started here, stopped here. Now you want to put the lining on top, right sides together, match the center seam, well, center, it will become a side seam, but for now let's call it a center seam here. Match the sides, make sure that your zipper is pulled away, because now you'll be stitching all throughout the whole thing, but you don't want to stitch your zipper in place. That 1 inch, it's veered off and it stays off. And don't worry about the zipper pull right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stitch from the side where I already have a stitching line, and now I'll start from the beginning, but you want to make sure that you don't catch the zipper at the first inch. It still needs to be away. Okay, and stitch all the way. Again, when you reach the 1 inch, make sure that the zipper is veered off. See, it's right here. And you go and stitch all the way, back stitching at the beginning and at the end. Cool. So first part of the project is done. Right now you should have a huge butterfly like this with the zipper there, sewn only on one side. So what you want to do right now, trust me, you're not gonna regret this, but listen carefully, because it shocked me the first time. I was like, are you sure I need to do that? Yes, you do. So you're gonna take your zipper tape, open it, and remove it. Remove the one that's not stuck in there and save it for a different project. How cool is this? So now you have just one side of the zipper and it stays like that. Just the one side. You want to bring your main and lining right side together. This is my main where the fleece is, and this is my lining. You want to make sure that the zipper coils are away. So let's see if we can do something about these zipper coils. I need to keep them, you need to keep them away, see? You cannot have them in here in the seam. So make sure they're away. I'll pin this right here with the zipper coils away and just add a couple of pins. So now what you want to do is you want to start stitching on the sides. So let's start with this short side. Stitch it together. So now you have the two main sides, right sides together on this side. Back stitch at the beginning and at the end. Now you're gonna go on the long side. And you'll start from the main part, like so. Make sure you back stitch. And you're gonna go all the way to the lining. So this is the main, this is the lining on this side. You're gonna go all the way past the zipper. Make sure the zipper is away from the stitching. Don't catch your zipper here. Okay. And then stop somewhere here. You pick a spot. Okay. We need to leave an opening to turn this back. So leave an opening, I'm gonna say about 6-7 inches, like here, and then continue stitching on the bottom part. We need the opening to turn the back. Okay, and now the bottom and the last step is right here on the bottom. And I'll show you how it looks like right now. So you see the opening right here. So this is stitched all the way, opening, and then here. And then both bottoms are stitched. This side was already stitched from before. So now we're going to box the corner, but we're going to box the corner and stitch them together at the same time. So to box the corner, you open where that corner is, and I like to put my seams the other way and just spin it in place for now. This is the lining that I'm doing right now. I just pinned it in place, not stitched it yet. Now I'm turning on this side, on the main, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm opening the corners, like so. This is a little stiffer because it has all the interfacing, but it's workable. I'm opening the corners like so, and matching the seam on both sides. Just pinned, not stitched yet. Okay, so they're like this. They look like this right now. So now you want to bring, if you put it like so, long, on the long side, you want to bring this lining on top of the main. So I'll do this again so you see it. You bring this from here on top of the main part here, and then you stitch, and then you're going to stitch them all at the same time. So you're gonna go through 4 layers right now. It looks weird, but it works, I promise you. Find the easiest way to stitch that works for your machine and your body. So now you boxed 2 sides at the same time. It looks something like this, okay? Now we need to go and do the other side. Same thing. So you bring this piece here. Now the traveling is shorter because you're basically doing these 2 pieces together like so. It looks weird, but it works when you turn it, trust me. So now we're matching those seams. I'm going to just stitch them down. Back stitch at the beginning and at the end. And now it looks very weird. And it's totally normal. If it doesn't look weird, that means you probably did something wrong. So, it looks kind of like this. A weird shape. You're gonna put your hand through the opening. You're going to pull the lining on top like so. So you're going to be bringing the lining on top of the main, right sides together, and you keep it with just the lining part right now, okay? Because you want to close this before you turn it on the other side. Okay, so right now this is the bottle holder, but with the lining on the outside. See, we have this opening here. Before you put you close the opening, grab your peltex piece, and if you can fuse it, you should. If not, just slide it in on the lining piece as best as you can get it, because you need to go with your hand through it and slide it in here in the bottom if you can. The example that I have from earlier doesn't have the peltex, and it's totally fine. So if you can get this in, it's not a problem, like if you don't want to add the peltex, but if you can, it gives an extra stabilization on the bottom. So I'm just sliding that in there, making sure that it's nice and straight. I don't want it crooked there. You'll use a lot of your feel. So it's in. It's like right in here right now. Again, optional. No big deal if you can't do it. And if you put your hand through it, it's easier to push all this stuff. One last time to feel for the peltex. Okay, perfect. So now the peltex is in. We need to close this opening. And you can hand stitch it and do a ladder stitch if you're a hero. And we all know I'm not. So I'm just folding this like so, putting a couple of pins, and I'm going to stitch with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, or less if I can get it, but I probably don't. So you want to stitch as close to the opening as you can get it. Okay, along this side. Perfect. So the first part of your bottle bag is done. Now you can safely grab the bottom and pull it out and turn it so that the right side is out. Because of the stiff interfacing, it needs a little maneuvering, but it works. There you go. Just the bottom part has the stiff interfacing and the peltex. The top doesn't, because that needs to be, you need to be able to pull it down. So push your corners, give this a press, and to press this, what you can do is put a kitchen glove in your hand, put your hand in, and then iron it if you don't have all the tools. I tend to do it without the kitchen glove, but it gets a little hot. So give this a good press and come back here so we can add the accent trim and finish the bag. I am back. I gave the bag a little press. So now, remember when I said don't put the pull? Because we're going to be making the zipper out of only one side of the tape. So you're going to be putting your pull right now and create the actual zipper. So make sure that it's still folded on the side seam so it closes nicely. I can see where I have like two coils more on one side. So in order for it to fold, to close nicely, I need to have those two extra coils pushed through first. Beautiful. See, I saw that these two coils were there, so I'm just gonna remove them. And you want to seal this. And now put your zipper end. See, you want to make sure this folds here. And now put your zipper end. That can be either a metal zipper end that you just fold this, slide it in, and close it with a little screw. Or, because I don't have a zipper end right now that's gunmetal, not gunmetal, I do have that, that's rose gold. I'm going to use this tag to close my zipper because it's funny and cute, and it has the coloring that goes well with the print. So I'm just opening the zipper, the little tag. Oops, I have this little corner here. So I'm just sliding the tag here, and I'm just going to stitch it in place. If you want to use a little double-sided tape to hold it in place, that could be useful, could be helpful. And when I get my rose gold zipper ends, I'll probably change it to a rose gold, but for now this looks fine. You can also make a zipper end out of the same fabric you used for the print, but you do need a zipper end, otherwise your zipper will just fly off. Okay, so this is my zipper end here, and ta-da! There you go. And it's all rose gold. Now I feel happy. So let's add the cuff. To add the cuff, you need your vinyl piece. So what we're going to do first and foremost, we're going to add some double-sided tape, and we're not going to peel off the paper backing just yet. So I'm going to add some double-sided tape, about 3/8 of an inch in on the long end. You'll see soon why. So not all the way, just about 3/8 of an inch, basically where the firm stabilizer ends, that's where you want to end your double-sided tape. And I'm going to do it on this side and then on this side. And this is the 1/4 inch. Okay, don't peel it off just yet. Right now, take your cuff piece and place it along the shorter ends, right sides together, and we're going to stitch down this side seam. Okay, your side seam is stitched. If you're using woven, you can give it a good press to keep the sides open. If you're using vinyl, a little finger press would suffice. You can really press this. So this is when you're going to open your one of the sticky tapes, and you're going to fold this in towards your stabilizer, and you're going to fold about 3/8 of an inch. And because this double-sided tape is super sticky, it will just stay like so, okay? So this is what it looks like from the wrong side. You're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Just peel off the paper backing. Come on. And with the side seam open, you're going to press this down just like you did before. Okay, so now, again, I'm using vinyl, so it's a little harder for me. If you're using cotton woven, it's gonna be easier. But now you want to fold these wrong sides together. But Melissa's vinyl is very good, so I don't worry about it creasing on me right now. So you want to bring the wrong sides together to create like a cuff. You know how you do it for Christmas stockings? Pretty much the same thing. With cotton woven, it would be a little easier, but I really wanted vinyl with this because I loved my vinyl trial one. And also, I wanted to show you how pretty this dusty rose is. Okay, so now the seams are matched. I'm gonna pin it in place just to keep them together here. Right. See? No creasing, no nothing. It's so pretty, this vinyl. Such good quality. I'm going to pin them in place because I will stitch them down. And this right here will be your bottom part. So if you're using a directional print, make sure you turn it to the side that you want. For me, I don't care. This waterfall vinyl works as both ways. So this time I'm going to put the waterfall going up. But in my example here, the waterfall goes down. It doesn't matter. Like, this is not a directional print if you ask, as far as I'm concerned. But if you're using a directional print for the cuff, this side that we're gonna stitch right now goes on the bottom, like so. So press this so it makes a nice crease up here. What I like to do for this vinyl, I put it in my heat press, but without the heat press on. So it pressed it, but cold, you know. So I have a little crease here that, like, my muscles were not strong enough to give. So you want to go ahead and stitch this down. And this is why I told you you want to match the bobbin to your top thread for these steps here, because it's easier to stitch from the inside than to stitch from the outside. So with the bobbin thread matching, now it looks better on the outside. A free arm industrial would be so nice to have, but I really can't justify yet another machine in here. But okay, so the bottom part is done. So pretty. Okay, I'll clean it up later. So this is your cuff. Now we want to add the handles to the cuff. So I'm finding the centers. This is the sides, one of the sides, and this is the side that will have this zipper. So it's gonna go like this. Okay, and let's get some double-sided tape. I'm using now the 1/2 inch because it's a little thicker, and I need about, I want to say, a little over 1/2 inch of double-sided tape. 4 pieces. And I'll add them to the bottom of each of the ending, or the handle ending, like so. Okay, so now I want to measure my placement to be about 1 inch and 1/4 in from each side. So I will measure and put my marking on the inside. Okay. Remove the sticky tape. And making sure that the handle is not twisted, I'm placing about 3/8 of an inch of the handle inside, sticking it to there. If you find that it's easier to just mark to make sure your handles match, just mark about an inch on the end of each one. So now if I close this, I can see it's pretty symmetrical. Again, this is my bag, I don't care that much, but okay, I'll do it so it's almost perfect. You know, I don't ever strive for perfection when I make bags. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'll use basically this guide, the other strap as a guide instead of doing the markings. You basically want this to be symmetrical on both sides. Okay, perfect. So because I have that double-sided tape that sticks very well, see, I can just leave it like this. I won't, obviously, because it's not going to hold my wine, but it's stuck there. Okay. And now it's up to you where you want your grommets, your rivets, if you want them. If you don't want the rivets to be seen on the inside of the bag, you can rivet this in place right now. Just make sure you rivet it about an inch lower, or 3/4 of an inch lower than the edge, because you're going to top stitch here and you don't want to hit your rivet with your foot, your machine foot. So you want to go pretty low. What I did to avoid that problem, and I'm going to do the same thing here, I rivet this at the end. So now I have the rivet on the inside here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I can take the bottle out. It's very attached to the bottle on the inside the bag apparently. So I just riveted after I finished the bag. So my rivet is on the inside here, but I don't mind it. I actually like it because it's through all the layers, so it's preferred for me, at least. If you don't want to see the rivet on the inside of the lining, you would have to rivet now when it's like this. I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and slide the cuff like so, pull the zipper out, and you're going to pin this in place, matching the side seams right here. Like so. I'll put a pin in place and I'll try to match as best as I can the fabric with the zipper and the lining and the cuff. This way, I don't want the fabric to be up like so, see? You could if you wanted, but I'd rather have my cuff and the fabric like line up as best as I can get it to line up here. Again, you could put some pins. You can use double-sided tape again for this step. How easy is this project? And it's like a magical. I love that zipper trick. It's super cool. And if you're not familiar with the Ujamaa Baguette on Etsy, go ahead and check out their shop. I will link it in the description. The Ujamaa Baguette is part of the Ujamaa Grandmas, which is a non-profit. It's a charity organization in Canada, and they do a lot of good stuff. So I do encourage you to read their story and support them and buy their patterns because they're really cute. And this was on sale for the launch. This pattern and the wind down, which I'm gonna make next, they were like $8 for both patterns. And if you buy just one, at least it was when it was on sale, it was like $5. They're not expensive patterns. So the last step right now is to stitch down, to top stitch around. So basically we're stitching the main body of the bag to the cuff, and make sure you don't stitch through the zipper, okay? You don't want that. So I'll stitch from the inside because it's easier. Yesterday when I was stitching the red bag, I tried to stitch from the outside because my thread wasn't matching in the bobbin, and it was a total mess. So I highly encourage you to stitch from the inside if you don't have a free arm machine. Isn't this how our brain works? I'll buy a $7 pattern and then buy a $5,000 machine just to make that pattern because I want the free arm. Or is it just my mind that works like that? It's like, if you give a mouse a cookie, if you give Alex a pattern, and she'll end up with all kinds of stuff that she doesn't need because she thinks she needs it. Fess up, I know I'm not the only one. Okay, go slow. It's pretty narrow here, but it's doable. So this will also stitch down the handle, at least on one side, and then I'll rivet the rest. And if you've kept the seam allowance constant, you shouldn't have any problems with the cuff matching the bag. Again, make sure you don't catch the zipper tape. So pretty, so pretty. Yeah, this is definitely mine. This is not going anywhere outside of my house. So pretty. And there you have it, my lovelies. It is done. You can zip it up like so. Yeah, I need to work on my top stitching skills. Obviously it's a little wavy here. So yeah, not perfect, but super cute. Isn't it? Isn't it super cute? I love it. Okay, let's add the rivets. And then put the bottle of wine in there. My favorite part, the big wine reveal. Okay, let's mark the rivet placement first. So I'm gonna go about like centered here. Oh, this moved a little bit. It did. So I'm gonna go about here. And so yeah, 3/4 of an inch down from the edge is where I'll put my rivet. and here. Everything that I'm using, including this sponge holder and my rivet press, will be linked in the description below. Okay, and I do have rose gold rivets. Oh, they fell on the floor. I'm going to rivet using the double cap rose gold rivets from Wizardry. So in the hole that I just did, I'm going to place a rivet and the cap. Again, this is optional, but one, I like the way it looks, and two, I like that it gives the extra strength needed. There you go. One, two, three, and four is this way. And four. All done. This is it. This is the Ujamaa Baguettes wind down bag. Again, she suggests, or they suggest, that you can put yarn in here if you're not a wine drinker. It's a pretty tall bag, so the finished is about 13 inches tall. So if you have anything that would be 13 inches tall that you would need a little bag for, this could work. Oh, drumsticks. Do we have any drummers that are watching this video? How long are those drumsticks? Those might fit in here if you need it. Or you can just use it for what it's meant to, for your wine. So you can put your wine in there, zip it up, and ta-da! Or when you open it up, you zip it down, and look how beautiful it folds down. See how pretty it looks? Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, do that now, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload new videos. I try to do at least one every week. Sometimes I do two, sometimes I may not do any. So I promise not to bug you with a million videos every week. And I am very interested in hearing what your thoughts are about this little wine bag. So comment below, and I will see you guys back here in my next one. Bye.